Go put some pads on my shirt. Put it there, Coach. Oh, right here. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Y'all can if y'all want. You can sit down. Yeah, they can.
All right. Now we have Sacramento State head coach, Coach Berry. Coach, we just let you have it. Open a statement. Then open it up for questions.
To God be the glory, first and foremost. Grateful to be here. My name is Chennis. I'm the head football coach at South Carolina State University Bulldogs. I tell you what, just overjoyed, first of all, to be here and to hear my guys, man. You know, you get an opportunity when you sit in the seat that I sit in as the head football coach. It is truly a ministry, because when you think about it, all in all, we're in this position that God put me here for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And to know that you're impacting the lives of young men every day, not just in the pulpit on Sundays, but every single day, to be able to pour into young people, it just brings joy to my heart. And I know truly that these young men listen to everything I say, so it's important. I tell our coaching staff, we lead from the front, so everything we say, our interaction, our energy, our juice, how we dress, everything, they watch. They're 18 through 22, 23-year-old impressionable young men, so it's very important on how we lead. And leading from the front is extremely important. But to be here, we talk about, we started our season off, this journey has been amazing. Everybody wants the prize, but nobody wants the process. It's a process you got to go through. And you got to fall in love with that process every day of going 1-0. As you know, if you guys have heard me speak, we read a book as a football team every training camp. It's called Chop Wood, Carry Water by Joshua Metcalf. It talks about surrendering the outcome and falling in love with the process of becoming great. And that's what it's all about, the process, the journey. The journey. I mean, this journey started, I was hired, my press conference was December the 12th of 2023. Had to put a staff together of not just like-minded individuals, but guys with shared values. Had to bring the right fit of young men together to believe in the process, whether it be the returning guys. I mean, you have great guys like Justin Smith-Brown, Aaron Smith, Nick Tace, Keyshawn Toney, they were already in the building. Already had went through the ups and downs, the highs and lows. And then I had to bring a different group of young men that came in that believed in the process and trusted the process. Then we get into off-season workouts. Guys, we're in the weight room, jack and steel. We learn how to go to class, sit in the first 3 rows. We talk about in our program, we chase A's, B's, C's, and D's. Those are A's and B's in the classroom, non-negotiable. C's, championships. These are degrees, plural. That's what we do in our program. We chase A's, B's, championships, and degrees. And it just brought joy to my heart. All 3 of these young men that you sit to my left, guess what? They all got their degree. Aaron just finished his 2nd degree. On yesterday, he walked across stage. Justin Smith-Brown chose to be here with his teammates instead of walking yesterday. He chose to be with his teammates because he didn't want to miss any of the practices. He didn't want to miss the chemistry with his quarterback. And of course, Eric Feener's got his degree already, and he's in grad school working on his 2nd degree. So again, what we talk about, we're not just talking about it, we're putting those actions into fruition. And I just left that football team this morning. We had our breakfast this morning, and that's a focused football team. We talk about paying the fee. I'm big on acronyms. Everybody wants to be a champion, but it costs to be a champion. And we talk about paying the fee. That's focus. Amazing. F, focus. Got to be locked in to the task at hand. You got to be locked in. I don't want them to be tight. I don't want my football team to be tight because I believe we're extremely talented. You don't have to be tight when you're talented. But I want them to be focused because each of us needs all of us, and we got to be locked into the task at hand. E, effort. A football play typically lasts about 4 to 5 seconds. As the head football coach, I'm going to give them all I got every single day. So all I'm asking you to do for 4 to 5 seconds, give me amazing effort. Win the effort battle. Dominate the effort battle. Non-negotiable. And then last but not least, you got to go execute. You got to go execute. It sounds good. Sound good in the air conditioning, what we want to do, but you got to go out and execute it. And our young men know what it takes. It costs to be a champion, and they're willing every day to pay the fee, and they've shown it each and every day. All right, most of the people, and I said it before, nobody expected us to be here. That's okay. We're okay with that. But those 107 young men that I have in our program and those 15 coaches, they're locked in. They understand. They know what we had. When we were putting it all together, to us, it's not about getting all the best players and going in the portal and getting all this glitz and glamour. We don't need all that. We need young men that are bought into what we're trying to do and what we're teaching every day, and they have to be the right fit. They have to be the right fit of coaches, and they got to be the right fit of players to be a part of the South Carolina State University Bulldog football program. Again, notice I said program. I didn't say team. Teams win every now and then. Programs win consistently year in and year out. And we're building an unbelievable program at South Carolina State University. Thank you.
All right. Our first question comes from Stephen Gaither.
Coach Berry, how you doing today? Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day.
How you doing, Stephen?
Doing well. I know, you're focused on the team and everything, but reflect back a little bit. You started your coaching career down the road at Morris Brown, and I know you talked about how, you got let go from that job and how that kind of led you to the path that you're here. Just talk about what it is for you to be here and have your team at the HBCU National Championship game, and then have a follow-up.
You know what? It's amazing. As we're pulling in, I pointed to that. I saw that clock over there at Morris Brown, and I told my young men as we're pulling in, I said, guys, that was my first job, 1996. See, but I get them ready for the game of life. Adversity, you got to go through adversity in life, right? See, a minor setback is a setup for a major comeback. The very first job I had, I'm 23 years old, just graduated from Savannah State College at the time. I get my first job. I'm coaching offensive line and the strength and conditioning coach at Morris Brown College. When the season's over, head coach calls me in his office. He said, Coach, sorry I got to do this, but we got to go in a different direction. We got to get more experience as an O-line coach. That setback right there set me up for everything that I've went through in my life, all the success I've had. Because that motivated me, that drove me. From the very first one. Everybody can tell you no, but only one person had to tell you yes. And from that point forward, I set a reputation throughout my whole entire coaching career of who I am today. And that minor setback set me up for a major comeback. So I'm grateful for that time. But adversity makes the best out of you. And that adversity that I went through made me who I am today.
And then lastly, being over at South Carolina State, seeing you guys up close, you're not an alumnus there, and you've only been there for really just right at a year. But how have you been able to just, ingrain so much of what fits at South Carolina State seems to fit you? How has that worked out for you, and what's that been like for you becoming part of the Bulldog Nation?
South Carolina State University. What? Man, you're talking about blue blood program. Years and years of domination. And I first took the job there. Obviously, I have a great relationship with Coach Pugh. Coach Pugh is my guy. I followed a legend, man, but it was my time to be able to write my own story. What Coach Pugh did was unbelievable. And I really look up to Coach Pugh. I love Coach Pugh wholeheartedly. And I'm grateful for him for all that. But as I walk into practice every day and I look at up in our press box, anybody that's been to South Carolina State University, Oliver C. Dawson Stadium at Willie Jeffries Field, you look up and you just see championships. So I'm a part of a championship program, all right, dating all the way back to the 70s, 1974. They just celebrated their 50th year, the very first MEAC championship. I got a chance to speak to that group of young men. I'm calling them young men now because they're obviously in their 70s now. But they're great people, and I got an opportunity to speak with all those guys a couple weeks ago. But, you look at greatness. You look at the success that Willie Jeffries had there for all those years. And then you look at the success that Bill Davis had. He won 4 MEAC championships. Willie Jeffries won several MEAC championships. And then all the success that Coach Pugh has done. I'm just standing on the shoulders of greatness. That's greatness right there. to even be mentioned in the same sentence as those guys. You know, I came up through the HBCU ranks. I've been HBCU on the HBCU campus my whole adult life. I enrolled at Savannah State in 1991. And I've been on the HBCU campus since then. You know, all my years of coaching college football, I've been on the HBCU campus. So I am HBCU. And all the names that I heard coming up were Oliver Buddy Pugh, Bill Davis, and Willie Jeffrey. So, you know, I look up to each and every one of those guys, and God rest his soul. Bill Davis actually recruited me to Savannah State. He was the head coach at Savannah State at the time. And, you know, you're talking about the opportunities of a lifetime. I tell our young men, the opportunity of a lifetime only lasts the lifetime of the opportunity. And for me, it was an opportunity that Bill Davis watched me play basketball in a basketball tournament in Savannah, Georgia. He was just so happened to be at that game, and he watched me play basketball, offered me a football scholarship off watching me play basketball, never seen me play a snap of football. And I'm just grateful to be that Bill Davis gave me a chance, because if he didn't give me that chance, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I had one offer. One team got to like you. And that team liked me, and they gave me an opportunity, and I was able to go get my bachelor's degree in business management from Savannah State College. At the time, we were the last graduating class at Savannah State College. And I went on from there to get my master's degree in Kentucky State University in public administration. But all in all, you know, just being at South Carolina State, so much tradition. All the former players come back, man, and they get a chance to just talk about their time and their journey there, and they're very welcoming to what we're doing and what we're building at South Carolina State. They love the energy and the new things that we're doing and what we're building at South Carolina State. So I'm grateful to be there. So much tradition, so much pride. I got a chance to talk to Darius Leonard yesterday. He talked to the whole entire team and all the support that he gives us, but so many, countless guys that I have an opportunity to build relationships with. And I tell them this is their program. They set the foundation, they set the standard, and this is their program, and we welcome them back at all times.
How you doing, Coach? Marissa Stubbs, 16 WAPT, ABC affiliate down in Jackson. I can hear it in your voice, a very passionate coach. Two deserving teams on this HBCU national stage. Just talk to me about what sticks out about this Jackson State team.
Well, you know, like you say, two great teams, two great programs. I mean, at the end of the day, you look around, there's only two standing. I told our team that the other day. It's the reason why we're both here. All right, we earned the right to be here. And, you know, when you look at both football teams, obviously they did some good things to get here, and we did some good things to get here. But all in all, you know, we're going to get 60 minutes to go play this game. But when you look at Jackson State, they got a good football team. Coach T.C. Taylor does a good job with those guys. He's got them motivated, got them playing at a high level. And we respect all opponents. We really do. But we fear absolutely none. And we're excited about the opportunity. They're number one. You know, we used to be in the underdog. That's okay. We like that, you know. But they're number one right now. I think they got us at number two. That's okay. But we're going to find out. That ball going to kick off at about 12:06. I think that's about what time it's going to kick off, and we're going to find out in about 60 minutes who the champion will be.
All right, go Keisha and then the young man in the back.
Keisha J. Kelly, Black College Experience. Coach, I followed you for a long time, school to school to school. And so you know, talk about graduating from Savannah State. So I always say coming back home here in Georgia and being able to play in front of Georgia. I'm going to kind of steer it a little bit different. Same thing I asked Jackson State. You know, victory celebration, Coach. I asked you this when y'all won at Benedict. What you eating once y'all win, Coach?
First of all, Keisha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Coach.
You know, you're right. We go way back. I appreciate you, Keisha, all that you do. Listen, victory meal. So we're in the A, right? So I'm going to give me some lemon pepper wings. Okay? So everybody likes ranch, but I like blue cheese. But I got to get at least a 15-piece. I can't just get a 10-piece. I'm a big man. I'm 6'4", about 250 pounds. So I'll get me about a 15-piece. Got to have the fries, but I don't want dark fries. I want them light. I don't like dark fries. I want them light. Put a little salt and pepper on them, dip them in a little ketchup. And then I got to get a peach drink. The drink has to be peach. So I'm in the A, man. I went to high school in Atlanta. I went to Redan High School back in the day out in the Decatur area, Stone Mountain. East side, represent, peace up, A-Town down, baby, whoop, there it is. Excited about it all. Glad to be here.
Is the peach drink a knee-high?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be knee-high. I just need, you know, when you go to a place and you get your 15-piece wing. It just had to be peaches. Sometimes I'll mix it, put all three, the lemonade, the fruit punch, and the peach, just depending on how I'm feeling that day. But got to get the 15-piece lemon pepper.
I'm gonna go to back.
Coach, back here, Coach. Reggie Chapman, 11 Line TV here in Atlanta. Coach, you talked in the press conference coming in about putting the Mercedes-Benz Stadium on your board, showing it to the guys. I'm just curious, though, this stage, this event, being in Atlanta, why is this game and this event in this city so special for a national championship like this?
Well, it's a big game for us because it's the next game. We don't look at any game like, oh, it's a big game. It's a big game because guess what? We got to go line up and go play the next one. And that's the kind of mindset I have with our young men. I don't want them to look at this game like, whoa. Guess what? The field, we practiced yesterday at Lakewood Stadium. It's a high school kind of city stadium, all right? That field is 100-yard long, 53 1/3 wide. The one we practice at every day at Oliver C. Dawson Stadium, it's 100-yard long, 53 1/3 wide. Well, when we go in this Mercedes-Benz here in a minute, it's 100-yard long, 53 1/3 wide. It's ball. So, but we're excited to be in Atlanta, man. It's the A, man. It's exciting. And when you talk about HBCU football, you talk about HBCUs in general, it's so many different alums from different HBCUs across America. They live right here in the metropolitan area. So it's not only great for the two institutions that will be participating, South Carolina State University, because Bulldog Nation will be in the building. You best believe that. And I'm sure Jackson State gonna bring a few fans. I'm sure. They'll be out there. Exciting. But the whole entire just melting pot of HBCUs right here in Atlanta, great place, great venue. You're talking about the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, man. It's a great stadium. Excited about it all. But again, at the end of the day, like I say, it's 100-yard long, 53 1/3 wide, and our young men don't ever get caught up in the moment. The moment's never too big for our guys. We just got to lock in for 60 minutes on the team that we're getting ready to play. They're going to throw 11 guys out there. Well, somebody's going to kick off. Either our team's going to kick off or their team's going to kick off. First play of the game, get a chance to set the tone, and then you're going to get 60 minutes to see and let the chips fall where they may.
Mia Berry with Anscape. Hi, cousin. How are you?
Hello, cuz. How you doing? Great last name.
I know. Excellent at that.
Mm-hmm.
But, Coach, congratulations. Happy to see you here in Atlanta. But I've been following you on a couple coaching stops as well. So taking it back to Southern, offensive coordinator, you're very familiar with the SWAC team, SWAC offense, and coaching against the Trey Oliver defense back in the day. How do you think that experience being in the SWAC, knowing that type and style of play is going to help you when it comes to the Celebration Bowl?
That experience, I am familiar with the SWAC. I spent 7 years as the offense coordinator at Southern University, and a lot of exciting football takes place in the SWAC. A lot of spread offenses, a lot of, speed, talent, skill guys. But the reality is ball, because there's some really explosive guys, talent, physicality, all that good stuff taking place in the MEAC as well. I spent 17 years total. I spent 7 years in the SWAC, 10 years in the MEAC prior to me, taking that job at Benedict College. But, I'm pretty familiar with Jackson State. In those years I was there. I left the SWAC in 2019. We actually played the SWAC championship game that year versus Alcorn State. So, like I say, I've played against all those guys, had an opportunity to play against Jackson as well as so many other teams. But, it's a new team, new season, new year. So, total different teams, total different make of these teams. But, I do have experience in both conferences.
Quick follow-up to that, new team, new season. Usually when new coaches take over a program, they say, give us some time. How were you and this staff and this roster able to expedite that process? Now, y'all made it to the Celebration Bowl faster than UPS sent my package in now.
It's just guys believing and buying in. I truly believe if God be for you, who could be against you? And I truly believe in leading my program from the front with Lord and Savior. That's just what I believe in. And when you put God first, anything can happen for you in the right way. And we got young men that believe in what we're doing and the vision that we have. And, it starts from the top. Like I say, I have to have the vision. I have to have the same energy and juice every day. What you see is what you get every day. And again, I have to do a good job of making sure I have my coaches that pour into our young men just as much as I do. And I've always believed, our coaches we truly love our players. We tell them, I love you. Not love, the cool thing, love. No, we say, I love you. And we show them we love them every day by our actions every day. So when you look at us all in all, we always believed. We knew that we were putting the right pieces of the puzzle together. And I tell, guys, when you're having a conversation like, Coach, how did it happen so fast? It didn't have to work. It had to take complete buy-in. You're talking about buy-in from these young men. We brought in 40 newcomers. We had 8 freshmen that we signed. We brought in 32 transfers, and then we had an amazing group foundation that was already there, like I say, with an Aaron Smith, or Justice Smith-Brown, Nick Taser, Cam Johnson, Eric Brown. Those guys had already been there, setting the foundation, and they knew what they wanted as well, and they all bought in. And again, I know it was different when I first got in, Mia. It was different. Different energy, different juice, different everything. I'm very, very demanding. Demanding of my coach, never demeaning, but demanding. Very demanding. Demanding of my players. Expectation. How we start meetings. I'm a little different. Like say we have a meeting, it starts at 6:07. I don't start at 6 o'clock, I start at 6:07. So when I walk in there, I walk in typically about 6:02. Guys are already getting the mindset ready to go. At 6:06, I'll say 1 minute remaining. Then they'll know. Start powering everything down, get locked in. We start the meeting at 6:07. Everybody ready? They say ready. Everybody ready? They say ready. I say everybody ready? They say ready. Then we say go dogs, and we locked in. You see a locked in group of young men focused on the task at hand. And all they want every day is for the guys around them to give their best. In our program, you'll look at us and it says, your best is the standard. Your best is the standard. That's your best in the classroom. That's your best in the weight room. That's your best in the meetings. That's your best in study hall. That's your best on the football field. All we want is your best. And everything we do, we want their best. Because I'm going to give them, as the head football coach, I'm going to give them my best every day. I'm going to fight for them for all the things that they deserve. I understand as an HBCU, we have to do more with less. We have limited resource institutions, limited budgets. But guess what? That don't change what I want for my players. I want them to have the best. So I'm going to fight for the best gear, the best everything. I believe you look good, you feel good, you play good. And all that matters, right? But I want them to have the best. I want them to have all the drip. Now I got to go find the money, but I want them to have the drip. I want them to just feel confident because it's about the culture that we're setting every day. And again, you show a young man that you genuinely care, they'll run through that wall for you. But if you talking a lot of noise but not showing them by actions, they'll be like, oh, he just blowing smoke. But I try to go every day hard for these young men because they know I genuinely care about them, each and every one of them.
All right, Coach, because of time, we want to stay on time. We want to thank you again for your time today. We're going to let you guys go. We know you have a walkthrough. Thanks again and good luck tomorrow.
Great day to be a Bulldog. Go Dogs.